Good night there, and welcome to the stream. And for tonight we are going to focus on two things. On last night's stream we went to Castle Sabran and finished up all the clues in there, and two of the things that we got from that stream were the interleave for the yellow and the red message, and we still haven't collected the yellow messages, but the red messages I meant to say, but the yellow messages we had all seen. And hello there, Gleaser, welcome to the stream once again. And I solved the yellow message now before going online, and spent a little time. It was relatively complicated because the note said every two letters should be matched till the end, and the order was 956174283. So you basically needed to take two letters at a time from the messages. Yellow message 9, then followed by yellow message 5, then 6, then 1, then 7, then 4, then 2, then 8, and then 3. And it took me a while to puzzle this together, but basically the message reads: if personal statistics you'd like to enhance with circus games, you should take a chance win dumb prizes, but don't feel bad. You can offer these toys to an old man who can't be had. His hut in the wilderness is dwarfed by a tree. For the toy, he gives you a tip for free. Drink from the inner limits pool. Though once it was acid, now it is cool. With thirst now thoroughly sated, go back to the circus and play games to raise those statistics which you truly hated. So it seems that the plan is to go to the circus, and I assume that you will win a Cupid doll, which is basically the toy that we found at the castle. Then, of course, as we already tried and found out, you can bring this Cupid doll to the old man in A3, and once you've given him the doll, the pool in E3 in the inner limits is no longer acid, and we already know that the plan was then to go to the circus, and apparently it has something to do with adjusting the character statistics. So I assume this is a way to tune our most valuable statistics. So our problem at this point is that we don't know exactly when the circus is there. There's not. We've tried going there multiple times now, and it has never actually been there. And it's not during the day or night. Doesn't matter. So I went over the watch of the game, and we've been there pretty much throughout the entire year, but never in the first 60 days. So we've been there multiple times during this time of the year. However, we went there in day 140 something and also in day 170 something. So I'm going to assume that it's either in the first 30 days or in the days from 30 to 60 that the circus is there, or that it's only there at the turn of the moon, and each new moon phase is exactly at day 0, 60 and 120, that you might possibly need to be there at exactly that point. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on the day, and when it turns to day 0, I'm going to, or day 1, I'm going to go over there and see if the circus is there, and try to finish that up. But until then, let's get into the game. Now, on last night's stream, we did finish the Castle Hillstone dungeon level 1, and we also went back to Castle Sabran. And Castle Sabran had all of the discs, so now we have all 4 of the discs, and we also have all 4 of these pretty weird castle items. Where are all of them? We might have given them up to retrieve the discs, but now we have all 4 of the discs, and I know we need the discs to get the talons, and the talons are somehow a key to the rest of the game. I'm not entirely sure how all of that goes together. I have a feeling that is tied to solving the red interleaf, and we have the key to solve it, but we don't have the messages themselves. And I'm going to assume that they are indeed all in the outside areas that we have not mapped yet. So I'm going to once again attempt to map the Desert of Desolation. Yeah, the talons are all in the elemental planes, which are all at the edges of the map. I know where they are, but we haven't finished that part yet. So, are you on a brand new laptop, Cleaser? It's always nice to get new stuff. And we have yet to solve and map these 2 areas here. I assume that we will find the rest of the messages we need. There are some tough, pretty damn tough battles in these squares here. And one thing we discovered yesterday is that the 2 remaining spells that we need are in the Dragon's Cave and in the middle of the radiated area, which we have of course not been able to finish still. So we're not strong enough yet to enter the that particular area, so that is a bit of a problem. Maybe perhaps once we finished off the circus we will be strong enough. We will have to see. We are a bit of a way away from being able to finish that. Now we find ourselves in a annoying battle. The plant columns are there at the top, and you can only really fight the can't fight all of them. We need to focus the energy a little bit on the columns. My plan here for the mapping of this, since it's been fairly difficult, is to simply map 2 squares at a time, and then after that point return. And save. Now they eventually go down. Now, last night's stream as well, we did level up. All the characters are now level 29. And regarding the circus, it would have been better to know that earlier on in the game, that you could use the circus to enhance your statistics, since we've already leveled up basically 29 levels. But that will just have to be. We will now this is a near impossible battle, or rather a combination of a battle. We have no spell points and we have all of the ghosts, and I don't think we will be able to hurt them at all. Without any magic, so I don't know how to get out of this fight. I think it's rather impossible. We can't cost the only thing we can basically do is try to run here, and we will probably mostly end up dead. Might as well just start again. These 2 outside areas appear to be so much more difficult than the other ones. Yeah, we don't really have many weapons that have any magical properties on us. We mostly have weapons which can certainly cause damage but are not magical in property. So when we find ourselves in a situation like that, we are generally in trouble. And even the protection from magic spell does not seem to help us when we find ourselves in these situations. Now these hatchet men, I find them highly annoying. They have this very annoying ability to be able to level you down with a single blow. So, making it extremely difficult to recover. One of them goes down. That means we can at least use the paladin to also heal the party. Down they go. Now we've leveled up, so we have up to 38 now protection from magic and up to 48 protection from the elements, so that's considerable. Now we need to take care of the enchantress here. I would say that's a priority, and then the monster mashers need to go down. After the monster mashers go down, we need to take down the dino spiders. It's a difficult combination of different enemies here. Or at least this battle isn't as incredibly tough as the one we just had before. And, only the Crusader remains. We make it through alive here. Recast the protection spells as well as the... And at least we don't have to turn on the lights. Yet another tough battle here. Not entirely sure why these battles are so incredibly difficult here. They are. Let's try to raise Sir Hiram from the dead. We will eventually have to do something about the age of the cleric. He's getting very old. Now the damn enchantress is still here. We managed to take her down, but we've lost now 2 members of the party. We will try the divine intervention spell, but how old are we now? We are 72. That is starting to get very dangerous for us. We will have to do something about that as soon as we get back to town. We can cast a dancing sword one more time. It will help us bring down the rest here. Take down the dragon. Still have 8 of the eagles remaining here. Little to do except just beat them down. We managed to make it through here. There is one battle here that remains. This is incredibly difficult. These are some element hydras. They are basically going to kill all of us. We're all dead. So we might as well just try this again. It might be wise to just do one of these fights at a time and then go back and retry them. It's just they are so unseemingly tough at the moment. I will try to rejuvenate the cleric a little bit here before we get going. He really is getting a bit old. He's 66 here at this point. Okay, that was good. We managed to shave 6 years off. Now we got another 2 years. Now it failed. Yeah, we found it. It's in the it is in the on Murray's Resort Isle, and all you have to do is buy the ticket there. But the problem with it is that it takes every member of the party, and that's a problem because Magica is now 13 years old, so she can't get much younger. So that's a problem. It isn't selective. It takes everybody. Okay, we got the cleric down to 47. We'll make do with that for now. We could potentially leave her at the tavern, but it's also everybody else, they are all pretty much of the same age, so we would have to basically take only the cleric. That would take a while. We could do it, but might as well use the spell. Let's see. And all the pool basically does is it basically casts a single revision of the rejuvenate spell. What we could do, we could go back to the to Korok's cave. There is a pool there behind the battle that actually has the ability to turn everybody. I think it was 23. Could potentially go there. That might be one solution. Now this is again a very, very tough combination of assholes here. We have the magic serpent, and we have plenty of these dead heads, and this is a killer combination. Oh, let's try this again. Yeah, there are multiple ways to rejuvenate. It's just the matter of deciding which is the easiest at some point in the game. While when I originally found the Murray Isle treatment, that was very welcome because most of the characters were pretty old at that point. So it was welcome to find a solution that worked for everyone, but after that it's a pool over in Korok's cave is probably the easiest. Again, we have the magic serpent up on top. What a pain in the ass. A combination of the guardian hounds and the serpent is pretty much unbeatable for us, or close to being so. Don't think it's worth it to even try to have that fight. So let's try this one more time. We will eventually finish this. It's just this will be grindy because this is difficult. And yet another armored dragon. Now only 2 guardian hounds, however, but a lot of these warbots. We get to semi-go first here, that will help us a little bit. Managed to take down the dragon. That helped a lot. Take down the hound as well. And then we have the hatchet men down here. They are nothing if not annoying. So see what we can do about them. The cleric is unconscious, but we still have the paladin. We can cure the cleric. Two of the hatchetmen remain. They killed the sorcerer again, annoyingly enough. Was trying to raise her from the dead. Down goes the hatchetman finally. Now we can start focusing on the warbots. We might potentially weaken the cleric here, but in reality we can finish this now. This was quite the fight. Now turn 2 of these squares. And I think I will cast the beacon here and return to town. I'm getting tired of retrying this. Let's just save often. It's difficult to finish these battles. Let's cast the protection spells here. Save after doing so we can return to that point. And we are back here. I've noticed that every time you teleport you always face north after the teleport. So no matter which direction you were actually facing before. None of these appear to be undead. One more battle is done here. Let's continue to move downwards. Might finish this one as well and then return. Not take more than 2 at a time. I think that's more than enough actually. So this one is doable. It's a little bit difficult. Move 1 square forward, set the beacon, go back to town. The problem with doing this is that we are probably going to end up having all of these fights twice, because if we want to take a look at the squares going in the other direction as well, we will have to visit them again. We won't get out of this alive. Yeah, Enchantress has planted herself down there, and it's impossible to beat her when she's not at front and you can't even fight her. Yeah, the reset part is at least for this part of the game, it makes it extremely difficult here, because you have to select whether to save or you can either save or map, and you have to basically pick one or the other. We are very lucky that we did not lose anyone. Somehow everybody is still alive. We are getting weaker. Yeah, the gems in the game are actually very limited in this game, so you have to it's incredibly difficult to have this Lich Lord here in the middle of this fight. He's has a ton of hit points. When combined with the rest of them, he's a real piece of work here. Still not down. I honestly can't tell how many hit points we've removed from the Lord, but there are a few. Quite a few. Press the wrong button there. Okay, just the plant golems remain here. At least they're not stone golems. That would be even harder. One of them left now. Finally he goes down. I think we received almost 1 million experience points for this one battle here. Took an absolute enormity of time. You'll at least go 2 squares up here before casting the beacon again and returning to town. Yeah, I think we should go back to town. This is a magic charm plus 15. What exactly does it do? Gives you 40 protection from magic. It's actually a decently good item. I wish we had more slots to equip items. That would actually really help. But basically we are able to level up an entire level after this fight here. So in that sense it was definitely worth it. Now we have 39 protection from magic and 49 from the forces. That's an improvement. I'm afraid we will have to continue upwards here. This is a tough and potentially unbeatable battle here. Could cast the divine intervention now and unfortunately the enchanted is now down there at the bottom. We can shoot her. At least attempt to do so. I think she may have died. At least makes things a little bit easier on us. Ah, we're screwed. Let's try this again. I'm hoping that the entire place isn't like this. This is different, far different actually. Mostly the hatchet man that need taken care of. Two members of the party are now eradicated. One is dead and one is poisoned, so I would say the situation is rather bleak. We can raise so Roland from the dead here and have him power cure himself. That's one option. That didn't really help us. Now we have 4 eradicated. This really is incredibly difficult. Let's try this again. It's really the combination of these different monsters that is difficult rather than the monsters themselves, because they require different tactics. Plus it seems to be fairly common that the monsters get to go first, which in the case of example the enchantress is pretty much instant death. Now we can power cure the friar here. It did not help at all. And we could potentially raise him from the dead, but that will probably not help either. They're dead. Perhaps, but this seems like something that we would need to do now to figure out the red message. But it's also difficult. It's just the way it is. Jesus Christ. Is the protection spell perhaps? No, okay, that is might be the problem here. We have no protection from matching or the elements. We are going into battle without protection. That might explain why this is so ridiculously hard. We are taking too much damage. That is the problem. It's hard enough with it, but without it we're basically dead. still hard, but not as crazy difficult as it was just a moment ago. And now we finally get a pretty easy time. The archers are certainly difficult, but they are nowhere near as difficult as some of the assholes that we've met here lately. And we can at least kill them, although they will get multiple runs at us here. We're running out of spell points here, but we still have a few. Down they go. Remember to cast the protection spells. And of course there is nothing here. So there's an armored dragon there at the top. Which needs to die using any means possible. Down he goes. We will go back after this fight here. I will cast the protection. We will head back to town. We won 2 fights. I think we won't push our luck and try more. Cast the protection spells already. We will didn't I cast this just before? But I did. It's okay. Not far enough. Was not far enough. There's another battle here. This is the 8 plump golems there at the bottom. What a pain in the ass. What is the deal with this master robber? He seems to have like 1,000 hit points. He's stolen all of our gold so far. I doubt you will find the gold again, so I think this is a pointless battle here with the golems. I won't finish it, it will take forever. I won't lose all of our gold to some single character. Makes absolutely no sense. Now to go 6 squares forward here. Let's actually do that. Then over here. Okay, I think this is the last battle of these squares here. Let's head back down here. Into the desert. Things are quiet in this square here. Made it all the way back and up again, and we'll set the beacon here and we will return back to town. We have 3 squares completed. 29 left. Now here are the fruits I should write down. What it is that these do. I'll take a snapshot here. Yes. I think this set all of our food to 40. Yeah, our food was at 16, it went to 40. But I can't see that we lost anything. No, we lost nothing. all our food got set to 60 to 40, so that's basically what it does here. It's we are where X3 Y7. Okay. There's another of these battles, although this one is not possible. There's a Devil King there though. It appears that the Devil King is unsurprisingly difficult to handle. Bring Sir Roland back here, see if we can do something additionally with him. We can at least take down these minotaurs here. We are slowly dying here. Yeah, he's a real piece of work. Very little we can do about that. He's killed most of the people that can actually do any sort of damage to him. And down we go. And not out of lack of trying, he really was a piece of work. We'll remember that when we see him next, that he's not easy to deal with at all. Now, there's an ancient dragon here on the list, which is near impossible to finish. Probably kill all of us before we even have a chance of doing anything. We might as well give up. Let's see if we can do something. Get rid of the air elemental here. Now, of course, we can't recast the We can't recast any of these spells at this point in the game. So we're basically dead now. I did try going back to the Dragon's Cave last night, and we are closer to beating the dragon, but closer but not close. We still have quite a way to go. Now, what is a reptoid? I know what a fire dragon is, but I'm not sure what a reptoid is. Don't remember them. Now we can cure Sir Roland and potentially use him to cure Sir Hiron. This is still incredibly difficult. And I doubt we're getting rid of these reptoids here. They seem to be very tough. No, we're not. This is appears to be a very difficult battle. It's difficult to the point that if we make it out of it, I think we'll just go immediately back and save. I think that would be a wise thing to do. This one is a little bit easier. So much of this, of course, in the luck of the draw here. The archers are still hiding at the bottom of the list, annoyingly enough. The list is getting manageable. We make it through. Now what we should really do here, avoid having to go back to this point, is we should go all the way up here again to the top, then we don't have to go in the other direction. Then we can simply cast the beacon here and finish mapping the square downwards. We have to try to be as smart as we can about this. Really? Yeah, this game certainly this game isn't for everybody. I'll give it that. That's just let's figure out what this does before. Now what did this do? seemingly not very much of anything. Let's try resting. 42, 11, 9, 37, 13, 29, 59, 408. I can't really see that it did anything for us. So it will remain a mystery. At least didn't change any of the attributes. Not have this fight here. Simply will not. This fight wasn't there before. It is possible that we are having these fights because we're eating these apples. Is that possible? Go back in. Says that Might and Magic 1 was better. Well, the story is certainly different, but better and not better. That's a matter of opinion. Personally, I think that I think that 2 is more fun than 1. 1 is more linear. This is different, but parts more fun. We're always going 1 square too far below there. I will not pick these now. I find it very odd that we ran into this encounter here. Yeah. What I want to try now is, since we have no idea what this tree does here, I want to try is, I want to go there again. We already have decently good resistance. Doesn't change our resistance either, okay. No. Okay. We shouldn't have to have this fight here again. I doubt there are any messages there, so I simply won't do it. I will go to the bottom square here. We will go to the next one and we will go back up. Now, here are some more trees. I will, as per usual, take a snapshot here and eat some. Did nothing for forces or magic. It's entirely possible that all it basically does is replenish our food. Yeah, it seems so. The food just goes to 40. Which I guess is fine, but doesn't really help us all that much. Now it does seem as though pretty much every other square is devoid of any major encounters, but this seems to be the home of the mini Rex, and there are a few of her friends here at the top. Mostly it's our friend the mini Rex. There's 200 of them. So we need to focus on taking down the Reptoid and the Tyrannosaurus. Then start working on the mini Rexes, all of them. Reptoid is a tough little bastard. So is the Tyrannosaurus, for that matter. I'm assuming the Reptoid has might have close to 1,000 hit points. At least we've hit them quite a few times now, and does not really appear to be going anywhere. Need to revive the cleric here. Finally, the Reptoid goes down. Start focusing on the Tyrannosaurus. Cure the sorcerer here. Okay, now nothing remains except the 160 or so. These little guys here. We are mostly out of spell points, and few characters need curing, but otherwise we are doing okay. I might as well quick fight now for a while. Yeah, mini Rex is really no match to us, even if there are 100 and something of them. There we go, 175,000 experience we get here. At least we can't complain that we aren't getting a decent level of experience for all of these fights here. Now a few more, but nowhere near the number that we previously had. Seems almost tame in comparison. Nothing more here, and we've already been down here. Oh. This square is mapped. We will set the beacon here. Go back to town. Save the progress. We've now done 5 out of the 16 squares in this particular map. We found this crazy bullwhip here. Absolutely insane whip. Might want to see if we can equip that with the cleric. Wrong alignment. Of course it is. And one of the problems is that the thief doesn't even have a... Oh, never mind. Let's just sell it. Equip the cleric again with the mace. But Robert doesn't have a melee weapon, he only has a ranged weapon, and when he's in front he causes nearly no damage. It's just a problem that we have. We can't really afford 2 slots for the weapons for the robber. We need to use the slots for armor and lock enhancing techniques. It is what it is. There are some sacrifices to be made. Usually the robber is not much of a fighter in a battle. He's more often or not he's at the back. It's only really when you have this number of monsters that he's a fighter at the front lines. Now I will finish this here, both up and down, if we need to. Oh, here's another fight with these damn enchantresses here. Of course we immediately die because we forgot to cast the action spell. To have this battle here again wasn't all that difficult. Do 2 rounds of this and then just a melee battle here. Nothing even to be found last time, but this time we did find a little bit of gold. We're in the correct location now. Feeling that we didn't go forward here. This is most definitely the most difficult outside square in the game. I think the one below E3 is actually easier. This one appears to be quite hard. Oh, these master robbers are here again. That is highly annoying. I will not have all of my gold stolen. That is really, I find this particular feature of the game highly annoying. The fairies, both the normal and the fire version, as well as the as these thieves, which take all of your gold and gems. This is quite annoying. Because in reality, you have no real way of protecting yourself from any of this. If you don't notice it immediately, then you find out basically out that you either have no gems or no gold, which seems very unfair. They fixed this in the third game by giving you an option to put your money into a bank. So you were able to deposit your gold and gems into the bank. You didn't have to go outside with all of your money and your gems, which is a much different experience than this, and sort of fixes this problem. But it's mostly just annoying. Particularly the later or higher level monsters like the this Master Thief and the Fire Fairy. They are both difficult to kill, and they also seem to have even at the later stages in the game a very high chance of not just stealing some of your gems or some of your gold, but all of it. Now, this is not an impossible fight like the one we were in before. This one is fairly tame. We finish it off pretty easily, actually. It's tempting to do one more square here. One of these Devil Kings here, and a hatchet man with him. 4 fire dragons and a Time Lord. This is interesting. You might as well just have jumped into a pool of acid. So much for that. I think I will just finish one of these panels here. I think I might even just finish this one and then return back to town, so we don't have to have this one again. Then take one battle at a time and return to town if you manage to beat them. This is a whole other level of difficulty. You have like a 30 or 40% chance of making it through these fights alive. I think it makes sense to cast the spell here, the beacon spell, and turn on the protection, go back to town. See how our leveling is doing. Very little is needed to level up the robber at this point, and about 300,000 for most of the characters, except for Sir Lancelot, which is a level ahead. Now, having said that, it's annoying to have all of your gold stolen. Of course, you have this option of turning all of your gold into experience. So potentially that's one way of getting rid of your gold and then spending it on something. So I suppose that's the game's way of handing you a way to use it, but it's also inconvenient because you need to be able to pay the hirelings. If you spend all your gold on that, then you won't be able to have any hirelings, which makes the game even harder than it already is. Oh, this is a real pain in the ass combination of different monsters here. Now the plank golems may remain, but they are at least easier than the stone golems, so they will probably not take forever, just very long. Down they go. So one less fight. At least 3 squares here. We've finished mapping now. Let's set the beacon and go back. Or 5. A new fight. Let's see. Now this hatchet man is also a real pain in the ass. He seems to be very consistently sometimes capable of doing so much damage with there's really so little you can do about it. Now he managed to take down basically 3 members of the party just by looking at us. What I'm thinking of doing now, instead of going back and forth, I'm thinking of just turning and completing each square as we go forward. It's just an idea of how we could proceed here. There's an element hydra here. Near the bottom of the list, so we aren't even able to completely focus on killing her, which is near impossible. So go back to this problem here. Four enchantresses, a minotaur and a bunch of storms. This is a pain in the ass. We're very likely to just die here. It's not even our turn yet, and we are basically almost dead. Tough battle. We survive, barely. I will, I wonder if there is another encounter before we reach the floor here. No, there isn't. We'll make it to the bottom here. Let's cast a beacon spell. Get a new beacon here. Return to town. Keep marching on. The going is slow here. We've now spent an hour and a half on less than half of this one square here. We are in 5, which means that we've mapped 6 out of the 16. At least this one isn't impossible to finish. Seen this guardian house before. Now instead of going back and forth, I'm now turning a full circle on every square. It's potentially just easier here when you have to go back and save all of the time. Seems easier to just do it this way. On the upper part of the map we have these prehistoric battles, which are easier. Made it to the top here. Let's cast the protection and the beacon. Go back. We can level up the robber at least. Yeah, 10 hit points gained for the robber. More prehistoric battles here. Dino Ranch says the sign. These are no dinos. These are very dead heads. Seem to remember the Titan being a real pain in the ass. You wanna focus the melee attacks on the Titan. And the magic on the heads and the Crusaders. I don't think the Titan is I think the Titan is mostly immune to magic. Yeah, it could be. There are a few monsters that have this pretty nifty image of the head here. It's not just a dead head, so it's perhaps the most prominent one. Now this Titan here is a real piece of work. Used to have more than a few hit points. We've given him quite a bit of hits. He's looking very fit indeed. Immune to mostly all magic, it seems. And finally he goes down. After quite a bit of beating, we get 250,000 experience points. We get something called an enchanted ID plus 20. And also ring mail plus 28. Now the enchanted ID plus 20 is basically a super weapon for the cleric or the paladin, in that it raises personality by an insane amount. Let's give the castle key here temporarily to someone else. This is 15, but this is almost 35, so this will raise our personality by 35, bringing it up to almost 100. Which is an absolutely insane amount, so this is a very valuable item and it will raise our spell points to 377. So that's good, and a ring mail plus 28 is obviously a great armor as well. Question, however, remains. It's very likely that potentially it could be worn by the cleric. Let's see if it can be. If it can be, then it's quite powerful. No wrong alignment. It is the wrong alignment. was a valiant attempt. I think William Tell is already wearing a golden ring mail, which also gives you plenty of other properties, including additional luck and level. It's not wise to exchange that, although it would give him a higher armor class. This is still very valuable armor and potentially would have been great for the cleric were it not for the issues with the alignment. I don't dare other than go back and save. I wanna set a beacon here and we will return to town. See how much this armor fetches in terms of money, probably quite a bit. Yeah, it's worth about 7,000, which although isn't all that great. Save. But the ID was very powerful, it was very valuable to get that. We are leveling up pretty quickly. We've leveled almost 2 levels here just on these outside squares, which is seemingly crazy since we need almost 1,000,000 points now to level. Probably forgot to cast the protection here. We are very much dead. So go back. We did. Forgot to cast the protection. Now we should eventually level up to the point where this becomes slightly easier, although given the current difficulty level, I think this is basically going to be very difficult for a long time. Now we have something called an orc god here now. I assume that he's not the easiest monster ever in the game, and you have the ethereal beings as well, and they are tough. I think I will use the divine intervention here, see if we can make it out of this alive. It will cost us quite a few years, but potentially it means that we are able to get out of this fight alive, even if barely so. We are out of spell points for the archer, so this is becoming even more difficult, and we end up dying. Now our protection now is clean 40 and a clean 50. This is easier, although it's not easy at all. To take down the hatchet man. Cure the paladin first and have the paladin cure the knight. Where did the hatchet man go? Did we kill him? Yes, we did. This is the last battle of this square. I will move over to this side and we will cast the beacon here and return to town. I think everyone had leveled up. Yeah, everyone had. We now need about 3 million to reach the next level. We've reached the sought after level 30 in the game, which is, I would say, fairly advanced. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Gleaser. Thanks for being here once again, dude. And good night, have a nice sleep. I will continue Hey there, Chiz. Welcome to the stream. What is incoming? Are we being raided? We are currently hello there, Hayes. Thanks for the raid, dude. Welcome people from Hayes' channel. My name is Sigurbjörn. We are playing Might and Magic 2 on the Mac 2. And we are currently fighting in the Desert of Desolation. And it's been tough. We meet at last, indeed we do. How did the rest of the stream go? Thanks for the follow, Mac Apple. This This is should be right up your alley. Yeah, that's what tends to happen. You're not as stuck as I have been in this game. This is part 25 and each part has been 3 or 4 hours, so you can do the math. We've spent 100 hours so far playing this game, and we're not done yet, although maybe we only have like 16 or 20 hours left, but I keep saying that, and I keep going back on that promise. But I've been playing this game now since 1988. This is the original box of the Mac version of the game that I bought as a kid, so you could say I've been playing the game for 30 years. I'm getting there at least. And I have still to complete it, so it's tough. Yeah, 100 hours on stream. This is as I think I mentioned on the first stream that this was a marathon and not a sprint. No, the game starts in most of the game takes place in the 9th century, and the game starts in the year 900. So, but you can imagine that we've rested for 100, and there are 180 days in the year, so we've rested then at least 1,000 times. And yeah, we're both playing games we've been playing since we were kids, and we're still not done with them. So I don't know what that says about us, but at least we're persistent. We'll give ourselves that. And there's a reason why I have left these squares out here in the desert untouched until now in the game, and it's because these are quite difficult, and I've been doing basically 1-on-1 battle and then returning to town to save now for a while. I'm about halfway done with the desert at this point, and I've been at it now for 2 hours, so the going has been relatively slow. Now there are 2 of these beasts here which are particularly difficult, and that is the a death in a box, which is exactly what it says it is. It is a death in a box. And then it's the devil's envoy and the air elementals here. They are tough as nails. And what tends to happen here is that I eventually run out of spell points, and we get slowly plowed down by the enemy. Going to do a quick check here in a bit as to exactly how many hit points this creep has left here. He still has some 733 hit points left, and we've probably taken away at least 500, so that means that he has well over 1,000. He's not easy beat at all. Thanks for the follow, Goatee. We are in some ways lucky here because the air elemental that is hiding down here is patiently waiting its turn to beat us up instead of just going at us right away. Finally he goes down, leaves the devil's envoy here. Goes down. This is starting to look like an actual victory here, but let's not count our eggs just yet. And this might take a while because the stone golem there at the top, he's mostly immune to magic, so... And not only is he immune to magic, but he's also mostly immune to any other type of attack, so it will take us quite some time to take him down here. We have 4 spell points available here. See how many hit points. He has 137 hit points, and we have no hit points left with the sorcerer. So this will have to be done using the pain spell. And that will take a while. Have plenty of points. We might want to try something like the moon ray. See if something else affects him. How many does that actually use? Didn't use all that many. He's going for the cat facts. See how many he has left here. He has 113 hit points left. He's not affected by the fiery flail either. Now, you can easily die fighting this monster, although he's not all that good at hitting you, simply because you can't bring him down unless you can use magic. This one doesn't work occasionally, it seems. Now he took 42, that's a significant chunk of what he had left. I don't know if we have enough here. He has 42 left now. Okay, that's progress. 5 more. 3 more. 4 more. Inching down. Yeah, I remember our cat doing that as well. She would even meow at videos that we took of her. So she would, for all intents and purposes, meow at herself. You might not have enough points to trigger the sacks. Some fun the other day playing with a bot, adding some new things. Now this might be one of the longest battles I've had in the game so far. It's taking forever to take him down here. We are getting somewhere. And I think after this battle it's wise to save and see if we can not have this one again. Now, one of the things in this game is that the battles are they are partially tied to your level and they are also partially random, so even if you go to exactly the same location again, you will not have exactly the same battle again. It's not necessarily as difficult either, so can get both very lucky and very unlucky. See, we don't have enough spell points for the identify command. And we have none, so we have no way of knowing how many hit points he has left at this point. We will just have to go at it until it's done. Now he's finally managed to take down the paladin, so we'll have to spend one round curing him a little bit. I think I will use the pain spell from slowly running out of spell points. Finally he goes down. We get almost 1,500,000 experience points for completing this battle here, which is an insane number. Would have been almost 15 levels early on in the game. Yeah, basically the outside area in the game is 20 squares labeled from A1 and up to E4. So this is basically at the end of the map on the eastern side of the map. original map that came with the game here. It doesn't work very well with the it's difficult to show it on the camera with the green screen effect on. There's a lot of junk in this dungeon that I'm sitting in right now, which I don't really want to show. And I think I will go 1 square forward here and cast a beacon spell, and it's a very useful spell that I've used a lot in this game that you earn pretty early on, which enables you to set a location to return to at a later date, so you don't have to go around endlessly on the outside. We are actually pretty close to leveling the knight up to the next level. He's very close. We will be able to do that next time. You can't save the game without going into this inn and signing the registry, so there is no way of saving on the outside. So that deters your progress a little bit. You can't just save before going into battle and then return. It isn't as simple as that. We move forward here. We are more than halfway done, at least with the desert here. There at least is an encounter on every square. Now I have to basically turn in circles because the game doesn't always trigger every action. Some actions only trigger if you're facing a certain direction, so to find everything you need to try turning in every direction first. In the midst of the desert is an oasis. Large fruit trees bear inviting fruit. Pick some. What I tend to do in these situations is I take a quick snapshot of one of the characters to see whether it does something harmful to us. Very occasionally it does, but most of these have just replenished my food supply, and that seems to be the same for this one. It simply set the food to 40. Can't see that it did anything else. The game will troll you, so you need to be a little bit careful. Another encounter here. Something called a mega troll. Doesn't sound very good. We'll raise the knight from the dead here and give him a little cure. We are constantly fighting with the age of the cleric at this stage. That's a major problem in the game because most of the highest level spells, such as raise dead, they age the caster, and some of the highest levels, such as the divine intervention spell, which basically brings everyone back. If there is no one alive but the cleric, you can basically have an extra round, but at the cost of a few years of the cleric's life. And we keep having to rejuvenate him to try to reverse the effects of the aging. It is still useful to be able to do this. It seems that this mega troll here is capable of basically taking you down in a single blow, then followed by the rest of the beasts here, which then kill the character. The cleric is dead at this stage, so it becomes more difficult for us to heal. And we are also running out of spell points. which is a tough combination. Only 2 members of the party that are still with us now. I think we're close as possible as to being dead here. Try this again. Now, my characters at this stage in the game are basically level 30, so it's not as though I haven't leveled up, but this is still quite difficult. Outside of these 2 outside areas that we haven't mapped, there is basically 3 dungeon levels remaining and then the final dungeon in the game, so there really isn't much left of the game, but the going is tough nonetheless. Okay. This is also very tough. We might well die here. Quickly, what we can do here is have one go at the Divine Intervention spell, which will basically bring us back to 0, but need to take care of these serpents before they kill everyone. I don't think our chances are all that good. Then we have the Time Lord to deal with. I have a feeling these are supposed to be near impossible, which they are, and I've put off mapping this for a while and waiting to level up, and the point is that the monsters seem to level up with me, so no matter how long I wait, they just get more and more difficult, so seemingly this is just supposed to be this difficult. Might go back here and set a new beacon, just so we don't always have to do this mapping again. We're going to have this fight anyway here. This is where the battle takes place here. Now it's the Enchantress that we need to bring down first. Okay, the Enchantress goes down. Can use the Divine Intervention spell that gives us basically a second round. Now the Reptoid is a high-level dinosaur-like beast, and he takes a lot of hits. And in addition to that, we have these stone golems that we fought earlier, which we know are difficult as well. We might end up dead here anyway, but let's see how far we can get. Yeah, we are going to perish here. At least we came a little bit closer this time around. Okay. This could be worse. Heal the cleric here. Yeah, well, I think we're dead here. Could have handled that a little bit better. This was partially our fault. We got lucky now. We survive. Well, that's one done. Now I'm casting always after a fight. I rest and then I cast both the protection from elements as well as the protection from magic spell to keep the party partially protected. I will set the beacon here and return to town to save. Every battle one is a battle that we don't have to have again. Potentially this is a good weapon here. See if we can use that somewhere, although I somewhat doubt it. Flaming Sword 11, Cold Blade 12. Potentially this is as good a weapon, but we can't use it. We'll leave it here though. Now weren't we pretty close to leveling up here? Yes. A few more hit points for the frontmost character. Something. Five enchantresses. Some hatchet men. This is pretty much near death. We might be able to, if we can kill most of them, we might be able to survive here. It's going to be tough. Potentially it could be worse, but still pretty bad. Cleric is dead. Gotten rid of everyone except the last enchantress here. But, also have to deal with the hatchet men. Just the rubber remains are pretty much dead. Yeah. Game has this tendency when things are this tough to mix up monsters that require vastly different tactics. So you have to sort of pick and choose which tactic it is that you're going to try to apply. I think we might as well just be dead here. Not going to get anywhere with the serpent down there and the cleric unconscious. Okay. No one died. I'll take that as a win. Get rid of the ghosts here. Try to get the robber conscious again. Try to take care of the fire dragon. going to make it out of this one alive. Yeah, this is the fountain of what was it called again? The inner pool fountain. This is a place that is tied with a magical location which can enhance your statistics later on in the game, but luckily enough you don't need to have all of these battles to get to it. You can simply teleport directly into this square. You don't need to necessarily have all of these fights to get there. Okay. Rid of the Minotaur here. Use some advanced magic on the agent here. This one was relatively easy compared to the ones that we've been having recently. Let's see. What did I do now? Accidentally. Hit the magnify button. That wasn't what I was going to do. Let's see. This was what I was going to do. No. Let's move one square here and set the beacon and go back to town and save. We somehow miraculously made it through these. I'm hoping that we are close to being out of the desert here. Can't kill you. That doesn't sound promising. Okay. We are actually blocked from being able to go into this square here. Might try teleporting. We are now in what the game called Can't Kill You, which didn't sound all that nice. There are 1, 2, 3 enchantresses here. They are a real piece of work. This combination here is quite hard. I'll try to take down the enchantresses here first. One of the problems here is that since Sir Roland is in the front of the battle, he can only fight the monsters that are at the front that have a check mark next to them. So he can't fight the enchantress, which is hiding here behind, but she is still able to cast spells. So until we get rid of at least one of the monsters here at the front, can't finish off the enchantress. And she can continue to cast the spells from the back and kill everyone in the entire party, which is something that I've used myself for my magical casters for most of the game, but it's fairly nasty when the game does it to you. To We need the firepower, so I will try to raise Sir Iron from the dead here and have Sir Roland cure him. We need to get rid of some of these so we can kill off the Enchantress. Preferably now, which we managed to do. Get rid of the ghost here. Cure the cleric a little bit. There are still some pretty tough monsters left. Single caster is left standing. We don't stand much of a chance here. Oh. He tried. It was a valiant attempt. No. Not getting around with the can't kill you. You know that. Although this one is easier by quite a bit. Let's try to cure up here. It's the best we can do. Take down the Minotaur if we can. Take down the ghosts. I have to wonder how many hit points this holy warrior has. Seemingly quite a few. Let's cast the identify. He has almost 1,000. Oh, he's basically unbeatable. Try anyway, but he's both very difficult and has a lot of hit points. Seems to be a lot of these follower bots going around the last few days. Endless amount in almost every channel I've been in. Now this spell isn't totally lost yet. It's difficult but possible. The Moonray spell is actually quite nice. It can only be used on the outside of the map, but has the advantage of healing the characters up a little bit each time you cast it, so it both heals up the party and causes damage to the monster. It doesn't do a lot of healing, it only restores a few points, but when you're in a battle like this, it tends to help considerably. And it doesn't use a lot of points either, but it does use a lot of gems, and the gems are a fairly scarce resource in the game, so can't just use it all the time. What I'm most worried about is that when we finally get rid of the Holy Warriors, then we will have run out of spell points, but we're still okay. We have the main cleric has quite a few points left. There's only one of the Holy Warriors left as well, so we've at least reduced the damage that he does quite a bit. And we are causing some damage to the golems as well. Every turn. Now, should we now focus on moving to the main spell here and using the disintegration spell with the golems? Quite possibly. This is starting to look like something that we can actually win. So this is certainly turned around a little bit. Now there were some 8 or 9 of these golems, and we've already taken down at least 6 of them, so we've already made some decent progress. I noticed them pretty early on, so I didn't spend all the spell points on the expensive spells. And he goes down, we get 917,000 experience points, which seems like a lot. I'll place us here in the middle of this pool and cast the beacon here. Go back to town. We have found our gun here, a very high level ray gun, which we could potentially use. The ray gun increases accuracy, and plus 26 means that it raises accuracy a lot, but it can't be used by someone with a good alignment. Then potentially we could use it here. No, that means that it's only usable by someone with an evil alignment that is basically just a thief, and I don't think we have an equipment slot for him that we could place it in. No. Now, the game forces you to think very carefully about which items to equip, because you only have 6 equipment slots, and you need to choose between having your weapons and your armor as well as your enhancement, and there is a lot of picking and choosing to be done. I could potentially use many more slots. None are available. I don't know what we did here, whether we accidentally backed up a square, but we will just restore. I'm not about to have this fight here again. There's no purpose to it. We'll go forward. I assume there's a fight on the next square forward as well. Yes, there is. There are 8 enchantresses here. Down there we are pretty much guaranteed to be dead here. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're almost guaranteed to be dead here. Yes, we are. One of the disadvantages of this spell is that when you return from it, you are always facing north. Okay. Seen worse. There are now 8 of the fire dragons remaining, and no 9. There's one here as well, but I didn't see. As long as they don't kill any of the characters, then it's better. This was not good. So get ourselves out of this. Is that we didn't cast the protection spells. That is a bad idea. So save with the protection in place. That might explain why we've been doing so poorly. Okay. Now, this part about the game I really don't like. There are quite a few of these monsters that have the ability to rob you, and you have very little in the ways of being able to protect yourself from that happening. And if that happens, you basically lose either all of your gold or all of your gems, both of which are very bad. So your only option then is basically to restore. You won't find these items again. Now, to be able to cast the holy word here to get rid of the ghosts, leaves the heads. Just cure up. Tell here. See how much that has left. He has the Titan has 1800 hit points left, which seems like a bit. We will simply have to keep curing There's only one of him, so one of us at a time. We have some pretty powerful magic we can potentially use against him. See how many does he have left? He has only 3 left, so he's essentially dead. Finding these incredibly valuable items here, supercharged in many ways. We found a skeleton key plus 27, which is meant for the robber. It increases the robbery percentage by a lot. We don't really need it at this stage of the game. The game is rewarding us with some pretty expensive items. Set a new beacon here. Turn to town. Sell this loot. Potentially level up. You are getting pretty close. Also found a small club plus 20. Essentially might be a decent weapon for the cleric. Although the small club is not a great weapon, a plus 20 on the small club is actually pretty good. Alas, he can't wear it. Sell it then. Fairly common with the items that you find in the game that they are tied to a specific alignment, so you can't just use them with any character, and the alignment seems to be mostly random, so even if you find a very valuable item, sometimes you can't use it anyway. It seems that every character is now at level 31. I've now leveled up during just the mapping of this some 3 whole levels, which seems like a lot at this stage in the game. Shows how difficult it has been so far. We are not... Well, we are at least 2/3 done here. This is a Queen Beetle, which is a what? Has 358 points on armor class of 50. Doesn't seem all that deadly, and she ran away. Okay. So much for the Queen Beetle. The rest of this was easy enough. Now this game, the second in the series, added this lovely option of having a cartographer on the in the party, and the cartographer skill means that you automatically map. As long as the character is alive and has the skill, he will automatically map every square that he walks over, which is enormously useful. Now, there is something here called the Cat from Hell, which I don't think I've faced before. Doesn't sound very promising. There are also 3 of these hatchet men and a minotaur and some of the golems. Cat from Hell appears to be the Cat from Hell. Unsurprisingly, perhaps. The paladin is dead and the cleric is unconscious, so I'll say that this is an immediate loss here. We won't get another chance at this. We have no way of restoring any of our hit points, so we are basically dead. These battles at the edge of the pool are incredibly difficult, and they are somewhat pointless because essentially you can go directly to the pool. Now the green beetle is here. Going to attempt to kill her now since she didn't run away. See if she leaves something for us. Not really. Okay. Well, at least we did manage to kill her this time around. Okay. We might as well go all the way to the tree there and cast a spell again, go back into town, because we know we're going to be facing a battle here. We might as well return directly here. We'll probably die anyway. Might as well take advantage and save. Let's see. About the last. This one isn't all that difficult actually. Seen worse. Ghost is undead, so we have ways of dealing with him. Very late in the game, so we have access to this holy word spell, which basically eradicates any undead monster. Now, the plant golem is a distant cousin of the stone golem, but he's not quite as resistant, so he's less immune to magic, and he takes more damage as well, so it's doesn't take nearly as long to level him down. Down he goes. Now we've had all the 3 battles here done. It to the top here. We will set the beacon here and return again. We are getting to the edge of the map here. We are slowly inching our way to finishing this. Don't think we have a hero medal anywhere anymore. A hero medal is a way of increasing personality, which helps the cleric and the paladin, but we already have more powerful items to do that, so don't have a space for it anywhere. I'll sell it. It's useful early in the game before you find the more specific items later on. uneventful so far. Absolutely nothing happened on this square here, but there is an encounter on the first square next to it. 3 of these chancellors, 5 of the fire dragons, some war eagles. Could be worse. Just cast a dancing sword here. We will have to raise the sorcerer from the dead at some point. We can use the Moonray spell here to try to take down as many of the dragons as we can until we reach that point. And cast one more disintegration spell. Now is the chance, I think, to do this. We can, because we need to be able to, it's not enough to be able to raise them from the dead. They only get 1 hit point, so we need to be able to both raise them and heal them in the same turn, otherwise they will just die again pretty much immediately. Now only the war eagle remains here. It's actually that difficult. We can do 2 rounds of the Moonray spell and take them down here. This one was not nearly as difficult as the ones have been around the tree there. This is another way of gaining 40 food. It did nothing else for us. Okay. Obviously something there. I will cast the beacon right here and we will return to town, save the game. Should cast the protection spells before going out again and save with them cast so we don't accidentally go into battle without having them set. That's a bad idea. Now our way here is blocked, so we basically have to jump into this square, but there does not appear to be anything going on here. It looked very much like something was about to happen, but apparently not. There's nothing here, so we don't have to worry about this, and that leaves 1 square here, which we will finish. Here's yet another battle. Seen worse. I've seen worse. However, the hatchetman is very just tempting to use the divine intervention spell here. Bring everybody back. them down here as much as we can. Now, to be clear, it isn't really the hatchet man that is difficult or the fire dragon that is difficult. It's the combination of both of them together that is difficult, because the hatchet man, he will land a character unconscious in a single blow, and then the fire dragon will follow and kill everyone that was unconscious. So the two of them together are lethal. Only one of them is something that you can sort of get around. Now we should be able to, at this point, try to resurrect some of the rest of the crew here. Can start by raising the sorcerer from the dead. Well, she has a lot of spell points left. And we can raise the knight. We have somehow miraculously managed to finish this part of the outside map. I'll back into town here. And just out of curiosity, I will check in here, and we will cast the protection spells again, and I will head out to the square next to it and see if that's as difficult as this has been. Might be easy. Now, some of the earlier outside levels in the game I mapped in like 15 minutes. This one took 3 hours and 15 minutes, so they're not all equally difficult. This one has other problems. It's built with earthquakes and sandstorms, which blow you away and take you somewhere else, which is a different sort of problem. And this one was encounter free. We have an earthquake, and every time we have an earthquake we lose hit points. And then of course there are squares where there are encounters. I'm just trying to decide how difficult these are. These are not nearly as difficult monsters as were on the last square. Not even close. They're not easy by any means, but they're not nearly as difficult. So potentially this is much easier to handle. And it's tempting to try to get this out of the way. You can tell by the number of experience points as well. We got something like 16,000 now, which is way lower than we've been seeing recently. Of course, we got attacked now while taking the nap. Okay. Sandstorm landed us in the somewhere very far away here. Teleport most of the way there. Bring us mostly to the same location. Now, if there was a sandstorm in that location, there will be one again. So you simply have to bypass that square. Now, these are all undead. We didn't really have a lot of undead in the other map. But yeah, we are well equipped to deal with the undead. So we can basically just level all of them off here fairly easily. Did lose 2 members of the party, but that is easily fixed. How old are we now? We're 56. 51 will do for now. Now there is no recovering from the eradicated position that we find ourselves in here with Sir Hiron. We have to go to the temple to have that fixed. We have no spell to alleviate that condition. But other than that, we did pretty good here. So this is at least quite a bit easier than it has been recently. We'll cast a beacon here. Turn to down. Sell some of this stuff here. Go fix the eradicated condition. Sign in and save. Hello there, Longshanks. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing pretty good. Things have been going rather slowly tonight, but we are finally making decent progress. Trying to finish the final 2 remaining outside squares in the game. The Desert of Desolation has certainly lived up to its name. We spent 3 hours on a single 16 by 16 square. This one here in E3 is significantly easier than it has been so far. Hi there, Ash. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, I'm still working from home. I still have this slight cold, but I'm certainly recovering. So it's improving, which is good. Under normal circumstances, I probably would have gone to work many days ago, but with the COVID, you don't dare go to work even if you have a slight cold. If you even cough somewhere on the outside these days, people look at you like you are a leper, so it's a good idea to just stay inside until you're completely symptom-free. Now we are, at least for small parts here, getting out of the desert. There is still the occasional square here, which lands us in a sandstorm. A small oasis, you find 40 food, that's good, we don't have to replenish our food here. Another earthquake. And another one. And a sandstorm directly after that. Now here is a sparkling pool. Where are we exactly? We are in 1012. Yes, this is the inner pool. We know what this does. We are not about to bathe in it right now. It's there's an ongoing quest regarding the circus in the game, which like many items in the game appears to be mostly a useless thing when you see it first, but is tied with increasing your statistics. So but has multiple layers. You basically need to visit an old man that is hiding in the forest. You need to give him a Cupid doll that you win at the circus. He will then tell you to visit this pool. You have to bathe in the pool, and once you've done that, you can go back to the circus and change a statistic of your choice. And to be able to do this, you need to do it while the circus is in town. And we still haven't solved exactly when that is, because I've gone there multiple times already and the circus is never there. So potentially it's only a few days out of the year that the circus is actually there. And you need to find all of these clues and puzzle them all together, find the correct time, and then complete these moves in the correct order and get your reward. And the hints are spread all over the map. And eventually you find there are these hidden messages all over that are basically encrypted, and eventually, as you progress in the game, you find the key to unlocking the encryption, so you can basically puzzle the original message together again. There are 3 such messages in the game: the green, yellow and red message. We've already solved the green and yellow. The green one is regarding the original class quests. Each character class in the game has a specific quest that he alone needs to solve, and that's one of the first things that you need to figure out in the game. Then there is the yellow message, which basically revolves around the circus and tells you exactly in which order to do this. And then there's the red message, which we still haven't found, which is presumably then about how we go about finishing the game. Now we are not quite there yet, although we are certainly getting closer. Now we lost a member here, we lost a cleric, but we can fix that. Fairly easily. Simply raise him from the dead, like nothing is easier. We made quite a bit of gold. Now the going is much easier when we don't die every time we are in a fight, at least 4 times. So this is certainly going to be quicker. We've mapped about half of this square now in 10 minutes. While the other one took like 3 hours. I'm still going to go to the end here and set a beacon to return. And then go save the progress that we made. Going to do this again. Sell this stuff here. Go check into the hotel to save the game and then return. Found some more friends here that are interested in having to chat with us. These are all pretty winnable battles. They are much easier than the ones the other square. Now the reason I'm turning in circles here is that some things in the game only spawn from a certain direction, so you need to basically turn in every direction on every square to potentially see everything. Here's yellow message number 1, and this is what I was talking about. This is what the messages look like. They are just a jumble of characters. And for the yellow message, there are 9 of these. And you need to piece them together in a certain order to be able to read them. Rest here. Recuperate some of the hit points that we've lost in these earthquakes. Another oasis, we find 40 food. Now, as we get further down and further inwards, these battles are seemingly getting easier and not more difficult. Oh, here's a new friend, the Serpent King. Let's identify him. 400 hit points, armor class of 60. It's tough, but seemingly not unbeatable. We have some weapons. Done about 100 damage so far. Down he goes. That's the cold talking. Let's cure this poison here and rest and search. Now you detect a rough hewn cave opening. Enter. Okay, so there is a cave here. X5Y5. That we haven't explored. I'll add that to the list of things that need to be done. There are about 11 or 12 caves on in various places on the outside of the map. We've finished all of them at this stage except for the Dragon's Cave, which we finished most of, but there are still a couple of dragons in that cave which are too difficult for us still, which we've attempted multiple times but given up on. We're not far from maybe being able to beat them, but still far enough that tried a few times without succeeding so far. We will eventually get there. We've leveled up some 3 levels now. That is potentially even enough. I know for a fact that there is some time travel involved in finishing the game. That is one of the quests in the game is figuring out how you can use the time machine, and you can travel back to 8 different centuries in the game, and the only accessible parts in the different centuries are the outside areas. You can't really go inside, but that potentially adds some additional elements to the game. And there are different battles in the different times. I don't think you necessarily have to visit every single one of them, but some of them you do. We've already completed a few quests which required us to travel back in time. There is an entire castle which is located in the 8th century, which we completed yesterday on stream. And the only way to complete that castle is by traveling back to the 8th century and going there and finishing it up. And the little that we've been able to puzzle together about the end of the game so far, our main task here is to go back in time and prevent some events from occurring in the game to save the land of Kron. But how exactly to go about that, we haven't discovered yet. That is potentially what the red message is about, and oddly we've found the solution key for the red message, but none of the actual messages so far. So somewhere Was hoping they would be here on the outside, but now that we've found this cave, I find it likely that the red messages are inside of the cave. So that will probably be a project for tomorrow's stream, to enter into the cave and try to get that done with as well. This was the most difficult one we've had in a bit. It wasn't really all that difficult, but still harder than the ones we've had recently. Another small oasis. We find some 40 additional food. Another sandstorm. These items exist for the sole purpose of making mapping more difficult, and it's not the most annoying that has been in the game. It has been worse than this. The worst part of this was in the fire part of the map, where you kept stepping into molten lava, which caused a great deal of damage every time. I'll jump over this sandstone square here. That basically leaves these two strips here. It's very nice and quiet for the most part in this map. Here is yet another of the yellow messages. I already found a few that were in this in the woods here. I went back to find the rest of them so I could solve the puzzle, which I did off stream. I solved the green message on stream using word pattern, and it's since you have to puzzle them all together, it takes an enormous amount of time, and the game also gives you these messages in a proportional font, so it's very difficult to see how many spaces there are, and it's very important that you see the spaces because you have to puzzle them together, and the spaces are a valid character. And this is an old game, so there is, for example, a space after every comma, and there are 2 spaces after every period, so you need to be very careful when you're putting them together that you actually see all the spaces and put them all in the correct places. So I had to go, when I was solving this off stream, I had to go and look at the messages a few times and see that I had either typed 2 spaces where in fact there was only 1, or vice versa. But we are actually done here now, amazingly enough. I will cast a beacon here. We don't really need it, but I might walk down to the place where the cavern was, which was in 5.5, and place the beacon there. So that's basically what we will be doing first thing on the stream tomorrow. I will set the beacon right here. We will return to town number 1. Will we have anything to sell? Oh, we do. Now we've found some valuable item, a star bow plus 15. Have the blacksmith identify it for us here. It is equipable. It gives you 30 plus protection from energy spells. It also a usable item. It can cast a starburst spell. Does 24 damage and it has 200 charges on the spell. And it's a plus 15, so this is actually a very powerful weapon. Okay. Let us see if we can equip it. Potentially we can, and then it's a very useful weapon. Yes, we can. Okay. That is most excellent. Sort of makes all this traveling worth it. We will sell this trident and this sword. The old fireball bow. We have this padded armor plus 11 here, potentially. Better armor for the sorcerer if she can wear it. Which is certainly not a given. No, that is a problem that we've had multiple times. See, the sorcerer is neutral, and a lot of the armor that we've found simply won't equip with a neutral party member. Keep having issues with that. So we will sell it then, as well as the hit point potion that we found here. I will share the gold and the gems so that the spellcasters have plenty of golden gems. I will stock up on food so that we have plenty of food. I will double check that no one needs training, and that is the case. Then I will sign into the inn here. Change the overlay. Let's see, there are actually still 12 of you watching this incredible marathon of a stream. We should probably check to see if there's someone on that we would want to raid. Dr. CDCS is playing an RPG which he's been playing for a bit now. It's for similar mold. It's potential victim of a raid. And, Tonta Gosa is also playing an RPG. Let's go raid Tonta. This is a more fun game that he's playing. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thanks for all the follows and sticking with me through this. And I hope to see you here again at a later date. I'll set up the raid, start the extra, and I hope you have a good rest of the night. And see you soon. Good night.